Hi everybody! As promised, here I am with my monthly video, and in this video, the idea is, or rather, I'm going to review this awesome deck, the Omegaland Tarot Deck. And so, if you're following me on Instagram, you would have seen my daily readings for this month have been with this deck. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, seriously, what are you guys up to? Get on it now. Okay. Or you can totally come and join my Facebook group. If you're into the Facebook group thing, I'm there. I post my readings both places. And of course, on the Facebook group, it's more about just the tarot stuff. If you follow me on Facebook, like my personal account, there's all kinds of stuff. I don't know, you might be interested in stuff, other stuff that I keep posting or sharing on Facebook. And similarly on Instagram, I share a bunch of other stuff too. I like to take part in these challenges that they keep having on Instagram. It's fun. It's social media, can be interesting. Okay, so that's a recent discovery. Also, those of you who have been following me around on social media, you must have seen the picture of this book. This, yes, this is my book, the one I had written and published on my website. And I got so many requests that people are like, why don't you have a printed version? We are not very comfortable with reading it on the computer, or we don't have an iPad or a Kindle. I hear you, I really do. And now that I've actually held this isn't the actual final book. This is just the proof copy that I ordered from Amazon. And there's a lot of work. If you see these do you see these post-its, these flags? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I need to do, and especially it's not in the content really. The content will stay pretty much the same. It's in the layouts, and right, for example, if you see here, let me bring out something nice. Okay, do you see this? See this? Right? Can you? Yeah, okay. I don't know. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me bring. Yeah, this is actually a good example. If you see this, the Empress. It says so. Right here, right, and then the photo of the Empress comes on the next page there, and then there's this whole blank space here, and then there's the text. I don't know if you can see this. That's the whole layouting mess that I'm trying to clean up, because see, this is kind of layout where even the images and the text all in line. This is how it should be for when you put it in an ebook, because I'm not going to get all technical with you. I can totally geek out over this and wear my nerdy specs and totally do the whole thing, but I don't want to bore you guys. I might put a blog post about my adventures in publishing land, so to speak. And those of you who are keen on this, you can go check it out. And when I do put the blog post up, I will be sure to update the links in the video. But here's the thing, the long and short of it is I'm still working on it. Seeing this, and can you see how thick this is? My goodness. See, the thing is, as I held this book in my hand, and it's a big book, and as I held it in my hand, I realized, oh, there's so much I still need to do, because it's been formatted for an ebook version. It's not been formatted for a printed book version, and actually holding this in my hand taught me that I need to, do a lot more work. So I am working on this, and it's just painstaking because I have to really focus and concentrate in my eyes. I have to care for them too. So that's the quick update with my book. So as soon as that happens, as soon as it's up on Amazon, I will be doing a hopefully quick video on that as well. So now that we've done the updates, let's start the review. Okay, so the Omegaland Tarot Card Deck. This deck is also a card game, which sadly I have not spent time getting to know, understand, or read about. But for those of you who are keen on it, may you will find the instructions in this LWB. I'll come to it once. Now this deck has been created by Joe Boginski and the game by Karen Boginski. I that right? And then we have the publisher of this deck, which is US Games. And then this is the box. As boxes go, this is pretty sturdy. I like because nowadays I've started storing my deck in the box itself. So I like it. It's not a weak little box. I see it's gonna last for years and years. So that's a good sturdy box. It's very essential. This is the back of the box. And the side of the box sort of explains the theme. You see it? Hope I'm holding it right. The theme is, this is Omegaland. Society has been brought to its knees. Resources are scarce and violence reaches everywhere. But humanity still presses on. That's the whole point. Yes, fair warning for those of you who get disturbed by violent images. This deck does have quite a few of them. So, I mean, but I'm hoping to include a sort of a like I show these images of the deck at the end of the whole review thing. But so you can see that, and if you like it, if you think you can, that's okay. You can deal with those images. Be sure to buy the deck. It's totally awesome. Okay, because I like this whole post-apocalyptic theme. Then, thankfully, there's no vampires or zombies in this deck. Which, I mean, I get it. There are vampire-themed decks and zombie-themed decks and all of that out there, and if that's the theme, that's okay. But here, personally, I feel the whole zombie vampire thing has been done to death or undead. Anyhow, the point is that this deck doesn't have that sort of thing. Okay, along with your regular deck cards, tarot cards, this one also has the game cards. There are 3 cards which say major powers, and there's stuff on both sides, and 3 cards which say leader, goals, and scoring. And so those are the extra 6 cards in the deck. And then let's talk about the LWB, or the little white book. There's no other book for this deck. This is it. But this is really good. It's not your run-of-the-mill LWB where you have just random standard meanings thrown in and go figure. No, this one's really really good. It's like the creator of this deck is it's like storytelling, which totally I dig, right? And it's like this guy is going on his adventure, and he meets all these people and goes through these experiences and circumstances, and then he's writing about it and drawing about it, and that's how these cards and stuff happen. So, and that's how he's written the whole story. It's like there's a little couple of paragraphs or one single paragraph about the card, and then a couple of keywords. That's pretty much how it goes for say 38 pages. In the end, there's also a spread called the survival spread, which is pretty interesting. And then from page 39 to page 52, it's all about the game, right? So that's so if you're into that thing. Very funny thing though, side note, that even though I'm totally into the cards and stuff, I could never really get into card game. Go figure. Right? So yeah, but if you are, I think there's plenty of pages devoted to the game, I guess. So you could spend some time and understand and play the game. You know. So um, this deck again is pretty much like most tarot decks. We have the major arcanas, the minors, and there's a few things obviously appropriate or in context or in keeping with the main theme of this deck. So wands are your guns or pistols or rifles or whatever, and then swords you have these crossbows, right? And cups are sort of water bottles, and coins are actually cans. Mm, isn't that interesting? And so these are the thing. Then you have the court cards are the same: page, knight, uh, queen, king. There's nothing, no different nomenclature there. So that's that. And yeah, so oh, I'm sorry, I'm referring to the notes. Oh God, I'm goofing up totally, aren't I? But space. So yeah, the major arcana, and again, it's like the narrator is going through these adventures and meeting all the people in the major arcana. Oh, and that reminds me, the back of the deck. This is important for the people who like, especially like me, who want to do reversed card readings as well into their into their reading. Because the thing, this the back of the deck is fence design, very nice. I like it. It's kind of, again, very appropriate with the theme, but it's not reversible. You can kind of make out the the upright and the reverse cards. The design is such that you can easily make out this is reverse, this is upright. But and so those of us who like to read reverse card readings can find this bit a little bothersome, because it's not a very subconscious thing, but it's a very, or rather it's a very unconscious or subconscious, whatever the thing. The point is, as soon as you notice that, oh look, now you can make out this is upright, this is reverse, you become very conscious that, am I picking the upright card or the reverse card, and that kind of totally breaks your zone when you're doing readings. So it used to bug me before, and I've tried stuff like closing my eyes and just moving my hands over the card fan that I've made and just pull out the card which I feel like pulling out, or not, and that sort of thing. That's something you can try. But nowadays, as I'm playing with more and more decks, especially for my Instagram, it's fun because I had so many decks, I just never got around to playing with them. Instagram has given me a great platform where I can do all this. Anyhow, so, but the point is, I'm seeing that this happens to many decks, that the backs are not reversible. And so what I'm doing is, if I do end up pulling out, I close my eyes and I pull the card out, and if it is reversed, then I talk about it, and I go with the whole meaning of it as if it were in the reverse. But the picture I put up in upright, and or sometimes I just play with the deck in and I don't do reverse readings. I find that also to be quite an interesting approach. But I like reverse cards. There's nothing wrong with them. That's life. It's up and it's down. It's upright and it's reverse, and you can't just always say that this doesn't exist. Pretend that it exists. It's out there. It's life. But again, so sometimes these the non-reversible card backs do force you to pause and think and say, okay, what if I were to just read with the upright card, and if the meanings intuitively came up to be the ones the reverse cards. I think that's pretty challenging, and that's how I've taken it. So, as an experience, as a process of evolution, because I think reverse cards also make a little few things a little easier. Because oh, it's an issue there. Yeah. And also one more thing, it's my note. The cards are nice and thick, and they're not sticky, like whatever coated, which makes them really great for shuffling, which makes them truly, and it's the size is also very nice. I have small hands, and they fit really well in my hand, and they're really easy to shuffle. They are not at all, I don't know the exact size, I have not measured it, but they're easy to shuffle. They're not like really big like the Druidcraft Marielle deck. And yeah, so very nice. So now let's talk about the cards themselves. Right. So of course, like any standard deck, this one has the major and the minor arcana. So let's look at the major arcana here. Very, very nicely done. As I said, the the narrator is going through his adventures. I hope you can see the card. Am I holding it? Okay. And these are the characters he's meeting. Now I'm going to just keep showing you the cards, and so that way we'll have a show and tell. And this is the magician. I like it. Here he's got all the four things: the can, the bottle, and the crossbow, and the gun, and everything. So it's like the traditional. Yeah, it's very similar to the Rider Waite imagery. So if you are familiar with the Rider Waite, you will get this deck. It's not that, it's fairly straightforward to pick up in that sense. The High Priestess, isn't she something? She's journaling. Oh man, I love journaling. And of course, here's your Empress. Even in this post-apocalyptic world, this lady finds a way to, grow her plants and do her thing. Plants and food, right? And the Emperor is being all protective and fatherly in this crisis. The Hierophant, very interestingly shown. He's still there in his office with the old map and clinging to the old ways and maybe even reminiscing, perhaps. And nudity alert, lover's card, right? No need to explain. These guys chilling out after having a good time. And then the Chariot. I like this card with the tank and everything. I mean, that's so much in keeping with the theme, really. And plus it's a modern day chariot. It's not the horse driven or sphinx driven chariot like in your Rider Waite. This is the modern day chariot with which is a tank. And you know Oedipus killed his real birth father when he ran over him in his chariot. That's the whole story, right? So now, in this tank, obviously, in the modern day, that's kind of what you're gonna do. And yeah, strength. It's card number 8, and here we do see a little bit of the brute strength. But again, if you look the character that she has got here, he looks like he's way stronger, I would say, than her. So I don't know if it's just brute strength or it's also brains plus brawn that have helped her capture this fellow who maybe intended to hurt her or harm her. And then you have the hermit. He's a very interesting guy, isn't he? And the Wheel of Fortune. I always used to think that the Wheel of Fortune had some very intense connection with gambling on some level, and this card totally gets it. You know. Now here's a violent image, I guess. We have Justice, and it's very interesting to see Justice in this way. But if you see this huge guy right here, this guy, he meant to harm her, and he has actually, if you see, oh, hang on, if you see, he has hurt her, and she has retaliated. That's kind of, like, I don't know, many people, eye for an eye sort of thing is not necessarily something people consider very, civilized nowadays, or whatever. But um she's just sort of protecting herself, and if you notice, there's like this grave dug in the background, so that's scary. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kill or be killed, I guess, in that world. So harsh, right? Then Hanged Man. Again, same here. He's caught in a trap, which this guy has, this guy over here has probably put in place, uh, to protect himself from the bad guys. Then Death. Well, it's more like a looming shadow here, and then there's the change or the ending and new beginning, which can appear scary. I think there's a lot of ways in which you can interpret this particular image. Then we have Temperance, and she is trying to, filter the water here. It's actually pretty easy to do this. We learned this sort of thing in school, science class, or was it social studies? But the point is, um, it's fairly straightforward to do this. So if ever you are in a post-apocalyptic situation, you know what to do. You need to filter the water through different layers of sand, different kinds of sand, which form different layers and different thicknesses and stuff, and that kind of acts as a filter. Science lesson in tarot. And yeah, now this can be an interesting image in terms of crazy. We have the Devil card, and that's kind of very, very representative of what addiction or material attachment can sort of do to you. This guy is just the very depiction of the nasty, nasty that the devil can often represent. And Tower, very nice, very nicely depicted, very nicely drawn. Um, you know, Crazy explosion, the sudden uh, things that can happen in life. Star. As star cards go, this one's pretty cool, pretty quiet, pretty peaceful, pretty nice. And then I'm in love with this image. See this? The moon card. I mean, the moon is yes, the moon is all about intuition and creativity and all of that, but the moon is also all about the crazy. The moon is also about confusion, and this image kind of, gets it. Like, the moon can, it's basically, the moon, I think, is about fear. It's about the stuff that you end up doing simply because you don't want to do the thing that scares you. And that includes lying to yourself, or putting yourself through all sorts of delusions sometimes. And taken to the extreme, it can be really, really, you know nuts. And I'm being very PG-13. That, yeah, that's crazy. This is the card. And then, of course, we have the Sun card. Very nice, right? And then we have the Judgment card, where finally, there's someone who comes along and offers redemption, help, hope, all of that. And then I like this World card, right? This is a world dancer with, all the four elements, the four corners, and everything. It's very, very beautifully done, I would say. The World card. Hmm. So these are your major arcanas, and I think that they do sort of, as I said before, they are very much in line with the Rider Waite imagery, or the core meaning is very much there. So if you are very familiar with that sort of with that deck, then it will be easier for you to kind of pick up this deck and get into it. The imagery sort of blends with the meanings that you already know in that sense. And you can totally, you know, and ease you can ease just, read the book. I would always say that. I will tell you this book is great because this kind of certain aspects of the imagery which maybe you might find unfamiliar, or you might wonder what it is about. The book explains it really nicely, short and sweet but to the point, and very, very well done. So yeah, those were the minors. So now let's look at the I'm sorry. Ouch, those were the majors. So now let's look at the minors. Right, the minors. And so let's go through the minors one by one. Let's start with wands. Wands are all about fire, and so in this post apocalyptic world, I guess fire would be best represented by guns or gunfire, or that sort of thing. So this is your Ace of Wands. And then we have the Two of Wands. Very nicely done. These two guys with the whole city scape in the background, kind of sort of, I would say, launching from that environment, maybe in search of their own adventure, so to speak. Uh, you know, very nicely done. We have Three of Wands again, going in search of more options, perhaps in this world. And then Four of Wands, the happy family. No matter what happens in the outer world, you have a family. There's that loving bond, and so you do get together for family dinner. You know, very nice. Okay, violence alert. We have Five of Wands, which in this sort of world, like I said, it's protect yourself, kill or be killed. And so that's what these guys are doing. And so once that sort of battle was won, we have victory. That comes in the Six of Wands. Yes. And then after that battle, the Seven of Wands, they sort of form their own, build their fence and sort of, you know, take a breather, but they're still careful. They've got people, looking out. So that's smart. And then we have Eight of Wands. I like this chick. Right? She totally gets the vibe of this deck. And look at her guns. I mean, seriously. Right? And then there's Nine of Wands. This guy has fought for his territory, I guess, and he's now taking a break. But he isn't letting his guard down. Now, that's the whole point of the Nine of Wands there. And then Ten of Wands. Look, burden. Ouch. I get it. Look at the amount of guns he's carrying, but he's burdened by the load of it. And then, of course, we have the court cards. The Page of Wands. Looks interesting, doesn't it? And the Knight of Wands. Now, here's the thing, all the knights in this deck, they are like guys on motorbikes and I guess with mustaches. And I like those kind of guys on motorbikes with mustache. Who doesn't like a guy on a motorbike? Mm-hmm. And yeah, Queen of Wands. Now see, I like this one. Oh, so the thing is, I totally relate to the Queen of Wands myself. I often, I know, and the Queen of Pentacles occasionally, but I do respond to the Queen of Wands a lot because that's a lot of the whole fire energy Leo thing in me, the very aggressive. I don't know about the whole, because Leos like to be the center of the universe and all, but I don't think I'm comfortable with that. But I like but when you do get to know me in person, you're like, my God, is this woman aggressive or what? And I'm super aggressive like that. So that's why I kind of dig the Wands Queen. She's she's cool. She's nice. And then of course the King of Wands. He this guy, I don't know what's his expression, but like he's got this dopey smile on his face here, but it's okay. Maybe he's happy about something. Then we have the swords. The Ace of Swords, of course. Then Two of Swords with the choices. Here he is. In front of him are two roads, and which road to take. That's the choice. Right? And then again, Violence Alert, Three of Swords. Now this one, this picture has got a story like all the way. A tragedy, really. He killed this guy to save this girl, but she was killed also. And oh my god, this is like sad. Let's not dwell there. Four of Swords. Yeah, rest up so you can, fight another day. And fighting it is in the Five of Swords. Yes, you have to fight for what is right. You have to fight for your territory, I guess, as well. And then Six of Swords. Here's very interesting Six of Swords. They find an underground sort of basement shelter kind of thing, and you, who knows what waits around the corner. I mean, we can see in this picture that this whole thing is sort of empty, but those guys on top, they don't know. So it's a big risk for them to head on down there, but they're gonna take it because that's the whole point of this. You've got to risk it sometimes. And then Seven of Swords. I kind of like this guy, this card, because I mean, it's not like I totally dig the cheater vibe. I personally, on many levels, the cheater vibe is not something I dig. But what I do admire about such people is their gumption. It's it's their ability to sort of, you know, because they are great readers of, your body language or of you in general as a person, and they sort of, because they can see right through the weak spots, and that's where they take advantage of you. There's a series called White Collar. I don't know if you guys have seen it, and the main character in that series is a con man, and I, I like it because he's a nice guy, but um, he's also a con man, and he's really good, and he does his research and everything, and that's the whole the gumption part, and these guys are very smart. People who are con men, professional con men, are smarter than you in some ways because they can totally see right through all the crazy and get you. It's the gumption part I totally dig about that card, right? And again, Violence Alert, Eight of Swords. Ouch. Nine of Swords. This image is also very it kind of is the embodiment of the Nine of Swords, the anxiety of that Nine of Swords can be all about. And then the Ten of Swords. This is the end, my friend. This is no, there's no words. The Swords deck always leaves you. I don't know why they do that. The Marielle deck. I think I will review it, and that's a total different take on swords, or rather all of the cards, most of them anyway. It's interesting. This is the Page of Swords. And then the Knight of Swords, the image of which whom is also on the cover, or rather the box. Motorcycle mustache, oh god. I would like to ride that bike. Queen of Swords. And King of Swords. Now he looks like a really smart guy. Very, He looks like a computer nerd. I don't know why. Who has, because of circumstances that have happened, the world collapsing and everything, has picked up the crossbow instead of a pen and decided that he will use his geeky nerdy powers to survive in this world. Yeah, so that was your suit of swords. The suit of cups. We have Ace of Cups, which is actually the Ace of Bottles, water bottles. And then we have Two of Cups. Again, very nice. The Two of Wands and the Two of Cups, where you have kind of launching on a new path, adventure, or stuff like that. Very similar there. And Three of Cups, hang out, get together, swap stories. Four of Cups, the whole boredom angle. You see, very similar to the Rider-Waite. And then Five of Cups. Yes, Five of Cups. The depression, despondency, the despair, the sadness. And then the Six of Cups. Like, even in this weird apocalyptic world where everything is pretty much being shot to pieces, children still play. And then again, this is a very interesting image, the Seven of Cups. Right? He isn't seeing this little hole in the ground there. He's only seeing these things out here, and then there's this crazy little pit at the end of, so if he needs to really look where he's going, otherwise he's gonna fall through that hole. And do you see this hole? Right here. And he's gonna fall in this. Not a happy place. Not, again, if you see this as a very super symbolic thing, there's so much that you can interpret here, right? So I'm not even gonna get started. This card has been getting my goat for a while, actually. In terms of the interpretation and the symbolism, it's just crazy fun. Then of course we have Eight of Cups. He's leaving it behind and moving on. And then the Nine of Cups. Everything is okay and everything is fine. And this also wish fulfillment card, some people say. And then Ten of Cups. I like this card. It's very nice. Very nice. It kind of, in most decks, especially the Rider-Waite deck, the way they show it with the man and the woman and the whole rainbow with the cups and all. I don't know. At some level, I feel that those guys are putting on a show, because we only see their backs, and we see them standing like this. Oh, look at my beautiful house, kind of. But this one, I think here we have something that's truly authentic and real. This is like true love. Then we have the Page of Cups. Again, Knight of Cups. Again, mustache, guy, motorcycle. But no drinking and driving. I don't endorse that. No way. Then Queen of Cups. Dreamy girl, dreamy girl, dreamy girl. Look at her dreamy, dreamy eyes. Right? And then King of Cups. Seriously. That's the Suit of Cups. And finally, we come to the Suit of Pentacles. And so let's begin. We have the Ace of Coins, or I would say the Ace of Cans. Right? Two of Coins. Very different take from the juggler theme of the Rider-Waite, I would say. I mean, he's got one can in each of his hands, but there's not necessarily any juggling involved here, which is interesting. And then Three of Coins, which is again in like he's constructing something or repairing something or building something. He's putting something together, or he's MacGyvering something. No matter what you call it, Three of Pentacles or coins here requires a lot of you need to be really good to be able to really do this. you need to have a lot of knowledge to be able to do this. This is Four of Coins. This is again a very similar, like sadness or despondency or depression, or he's caught in a real dark place, this guy. I mean, all his food is over, I guess, and he's, if you see, do you see he's scratched the number of days that he's probably spent in that place. Oh. And then you have the Five of Coins. Again, not necessarily a happy picture, but at least he's warm, I guess. He may not have food, but he has fire. And then, thank God for the Six of Coins. Very interesting. Like, this guy is maybe running an inn or restaurant or some a place where he can, the people can come and eat, and so he can share and earn money in return. Seven of Coins, this guy is gonna save all his cans. And Eight of Coins, again, a very interesting image, very open to interpretation. Like, is he storing those coins over there, or is he taking them out of there? You know, intuitively, it'll be interesting what comes up in each reading every time you see this card, and that sort of will, color the way the story moves in your reading. And then we have the Nine of Coins, where she's now going to be storing them, or maybe she's taking them out of that place and putting them in a bag and carrying them. Again, so you see, all these images are kind of like, in motion. You don't necessarily know what the complete story is, and your intuition sort of, in the reading, looking at the way the pictures in the spread are sort of interacting with each other, you can make that story come alive. And then, yeah, you have the Ten of Coins. Very nice, right? They put everything together. They're having sort of like a flea market or something, and people can come and trade, barter, exchange. Very nice. And then Page of Coins, Knight of Coins, guy on a bike, mustache guy on a bike. Queen of Coins. Again, this is another card I can often relate to. And then King of Coins. So those were the cards, and I like them. I really, really, really dig this particular deck. Wow. So my personal thoughts on this deck. I love it, obviously. That's why I'm reviewing it, because I want to share the things with you that I like. And I like this theme. I like this. I mean, yeah, as I did, I think I have mentioned this before. There's a bunch of violence in there, but I think many of us, already see a lot of it in the world today. And my theory, just like how it is with the reverse cards and everything, is that you shouldn't run away. There's just no point. Denial can only take you so far. So I don't see anything necessarily bad with, uh, the presence of violence in the imagery here. It's not, it's not as bad as like, go watch a movie. I mean, come on, it's like, it's even worse over there, right? But yeah, if you're going to be reading for professional clients who might be sensitive, or depending on that sort of thing, you might want to rethink the use of this deck. But for personal readings, this deck is pure gold. I've been using this deck for my readings this month, and before that as well, I've played with this deck, and I've loved it. The readings are spot on. The readings are to the point. The readings are, like, they don't these cards don't make any bones about it. They're not the sugar coaty approach. Not at all. They'll tell it to you to your face. So yeah. That is how it is. um yes, the shuffling is good. They don't stick. That is also good. I think, yes, you can totally go and buy this deck because it's fun, worthwhile. And if you're into the card game thing, I guess you can spend some time play the game and tell me how that game and everything is, if it's interesting. And the LWB is also useful. So that's kind of the whole summary, I would say, of this deck. Is brilliant. And I like the way the imagery is. It's not necessarily, for example, it's slightly cartoonish. See the hand here, but I like it. I like it. I like how it differentiates itself from the other decks out there. That much is for sure. And I like also, very importantly, that this deck does not have zombies or vampires in it. Because if I wanted a zombie or vampire deck, I would have gone and gotten a deck with those things. This is a post-apocalyptic world where not where everybody hasn't turned into a zombie. And thank you, Mr. Joe Boginski, for not put sort of thing or storytelling in this deck, because oh my god, that theme is overdone, right? It's like you turn around on Netflix or any of these Amazon books out there, everything post-apocalyptic and everyone is a freaking zombie. So no, why? No, please. I mean, I like zombies, okay? I'm not saying that I hate them. If you're really interested in a very, really, really amazing zombie novel, it's actually a series of novels. It's called the Newsflesh Trilogy, written by author Mira Grant. If you really, really want to sink your teeth into some zombie novel, read that. It's just, I think, 3 books. It starts with I don't know, I forget. I read such a long time ago, but it's still etched in my head. It's like something really good, right? So go read, go have fun. But yeah, in summary, to kind of wrap things up, this deck is awesome. You should buy it. And you should also subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you like to hang out. I guess I'm there. And you should totally follow me there. You guys, do any of you have this deck? What are your thoughts? What have been your experiences with this deck? And like, do you also get the same feel from this deck as I do? So share your thoughts, share your ideas, and share your feelings about this deck. And also also, if you have any specific requests, I know it's scary territory for me too. If I have that deck, or if I can procure it in my budget, then I shall, So if you have any particular requests like that, please uh, do post it in the comments below. I will try my level best to uh, figure that out. Okay. And thank you for being super patient with me and all of that. And I love you guys. You are the best. Subscribe. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video and enjoying this crazy lunatic tarot readers review. So let me know your thoughts. Feedback is good. Bye now.